Hello everyone, Mr. Daydream here. Welcome to the show. Water. Water covers 71% of the earth. It is a pure substance. It provides life and sustenance. It is simple, straightforward, and gets to the point. So can someone please tell me, why exactly do we turn such a simple necessity into an unnecessary competing market? It's nuts! Like, you see this water bottle right here? Yeah, you see this thing? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure it looks simple and stupid, but clearly there's more than meets the eye. Obviously, when you sell a product and it does well, there will be competition. No questions asked. Now, I can understand there being 1, 2, maybe 3 brands of bottled water, but in America, there exist over 80 brands for this stuff. Yeah, 80 brands! Actually, there might even be more than that. What the heck? Just how many of these things do we possibly need? It's just water! What more can you do with it? A lot, apparently. It makes sense for beer and wine to have tons of brands because there are so many ways to create such drinks. Not to mention, there are so many ingredients that you can use to create such unique and distinct taste, texture, and aroma, and a bunch of other fancy wine lingo conjured by snobs. The same goes for soda. There are so many possible flavors and variations that you can do with these things. Even store brand versions can taste different compared to the regular brand. It can also taste different overseas. For example, Mountain Dew in Europe tastes different than Mountain Dew in America. It's a bit sweeter and not as tangy. More often than not, certain branded food products taste better in Europe than in America. I don't know why that is though. Maybe it's because Europeans use real ingredients or something. But with water, there's really nothing you can do with it, mostly because there's absolutely no reason to. You drink water to stay hydrated. That's it. In my opinion, all water tastes the same. We don't need hundreds of various products made from the exact same source. I just don't understand how there's this huge market for what is essentially the most basic and bland substance you can find. It's like selling jars of dirt, man. And sometimes the only thing that makes some of these stand out are the design of the bottles. As if it really makes a difference to the contents of the product. For example, here you have bottles that look like some kind of art project, and here we have bottles that look more like body wash than anything else. Like, what's the point of all this? I feel like I'm looking for potions in a fantasy game. Another thing you'll notice when it comes to water bottles is that there seems to be this marketing ploy that they absolutely have to incorporate into their product, and that is emphasizing that the drinking water is in fact all natural. As if it wasn't already to begin with. Look at this nonsense. Natural spring water, natural alpine spring water, 100% natural spring water. Why are they doing this? Why is emphasizing it being all natural a selling point? It's water! It's supposed to be all natural. Why do we need to be reminded? Constantly emphasizing natural water would imply that there exists unnatural water. And what does that look like? You don't want to know. I just don't understand. Water is one of the most natural substances you can find. It's as natural as it can get. So how do we get to this day and age where we have to remind people that something is natural when it's supposed to be natural to begin with? How many times have I said natural in this video? It's rather unnatural, wouldn't you say? They would also use enlightened words to highlight their product. Words such as pure, clear, and even ethereal. Meanwhile, I'd be drinking that stuff and be like, it tastes like water. The thing that really flips my bacon is how there are some brands that feel the need to add unnecessary additives to something that should remain neutral. The most notorious brand I can think of is Dasani. Bleh. I mean, look at the ingredients. What even is half this stuff? Magnesium sulfate? Potassium chloride? What is this? Bottled water or a chemistry set? And look at this! Salt! They actually added salt to water! That is the most idiotic thing you can do to something that's supposed to keep you hydrated. Doesn't that mean this is technically salt water now? Now I know someone out there is gonna say something like, "Hey man, your body does need salt in order to function properly. Why was that a bad thing?" I can understand that, but I don't want my dose of sodium to come from water of all things. What kind of an oxymoron method is that? That's like getting your sugar intake from a bowl of broccoli. A lot of these products say purified water. But is it really purified when you add all kinds of chemicals to it? Tampered water is a more appropriate term, I'd say. They should just do that. Be transparent. Just like your water. If the shape of the bottle or the inclusion of chemicals you've never heard of doesn't entice you to buy their products, then how about the filtering process? Yeah. The filtering process. It's such a weird thing to glorify. Like, who cares? Does it really matter? As long as the water is crystal clear, do we really need to know how they did it? Heck, my parents have one of those water filter thingies in their own kitchen. Why glorify something that you can practically do in your own house? A lot of these methods are always something in the lines of filtered naturally through nature. And then you got some filtering processes that just sound nuts. Like, remember this infamous commercial?
Rah! What you doing, Mr. Volcano?
Hello, Tyrannosaurus Alan. I'm filling my water with volcanicity.
Eh?
Yes, if you're a huge fan of YouTube poop back in the day, you've probably seen this more times than necessary. Yeah, for some reason, this stupid commercial was a popular source for YouTube poops. I don't know, I guess an ad featuring a talking volcano and T-Rex just screamed endless possibilities for lovers of bizarre and random comedy. Boy, do I fit that demographic like a glove.
This water is delicious.
This water is, in fact, the most delicious liquid you can... What kind of an accent is that anyway? Does anyone know? But let's not get too carried away with this nonsense. Let's talk about the process they use for their filtered water.
Rain filters down through my handsome volcano rocks to create a wild mineral water.
So let me get this straight. It's mineral water that's been created from a volcano. In other words, it's volcano filtered water? The heck does that mean? This whole process sounds extremely complicated and specific. And for what? Just so you can have drinking water that's been created from a volcano? As cool as that sounds, it's still just water. You probably can't even taste the difference anyway. I don't know, I mean, can you tell if this glass of water has been filtered through a volcano? I sure as heck can't. What would it even taste like? If I had to guess, spicy molten stone flavor.
Spicy molten stone flavor.
You know what I don't get? Trying to fix something that isn't broken. And how exactly do you do that? Well, try asking Mio. They make these little bottles of flavored liquid that you can add to your water. Now, I'm completely fine with that. Sometimes people just need some form of excitement in order to enjoy something incredibly bland. Like adding Thousand Island dressing on a bowl of salad, or reading the comments section on a reaction video. But what really ticks me off is how they label these products as water enhancers. I don't think adding artificial sweeteners to your water counts as improving it. I think the term you're looking for is water flavoring. They keep making a big deal about fixing water. Water is boring. It has no flavor.
Water tastes like, well, water. So we fixed it. Mio.
Listen, what's wrong with the way it is? It's clear, it's purified, it's good enough to drink. As long as it doesn't look like the glass of water Marty got from Back to the Future Part 3, what's the harm? That I might get bored with it? I'm sorry, I just can't get over the whole water enhancer thing. Sure, you get flavor, but at the cost of sweet, sweet chemicals. It's like calling chocolate syrup an ice cream enhancer. Does that really make it any healthier? No, it doesn't. All flavor comes with a price, whether you like it or not. This may sound weird, but as a kid, I grew up drinking tap water. I used to drink it right out of the faucet for a long time, until my dad began judging me for it. He judged me for a lot of things. And it's hard not to see why. At some point, I began to fill a cup with tap water and drink from that instead, and I've been doing it ever since. But over the years, other people began judging me for that as well. They're like, ew, you drink water right out of your sink? What are you, nuts? You need to drink water from water bottles. That's where water is at its purest form. Is it though? Is it really though? Because you know what? Half of these water bottle brands are no different from what I drink. Sweet, sweet tap water. So whatever I do with my sink is nowhere near as disgusting as what you're drinking. Man, that did not sound right. But anyways, the sad fact is, a lot of these water bottles are just that. Tap water. But in bottled form. For example, y'all have heard of Aquafina, right? You'd think that the little mountains you see close to the brand name would indicate that the water itself has been sourced from the finest summit of the earth. But no, it's just filtered tap water. So why even put the mountains there? Should have been faucets. The same goes for Dasani too. The overall design makes you think it's sourced from the finest and purest lake. Just look at how crystal clear it is. But no, much like Aquafina, it's just filtered tap water, but with unnecessary minerals shoehorned in. These two are the best-selling brands of bottled water in the US, and they're nothing more than water that you can get from your very own sink. And you dare call me nuts? Well, think again. How are these things even allowed? Heck, I should just start my own business in bottled water since it's apparently that simple. Introducing Mr. Daydream's Eden Water. Yeah, I just so happened to stumble upon Eden's Gate. Who would have known? It's a lovely place, even though I have to admit the price of admission is ridiculously expensive. $100? Really? What is this, the Garden of the Gods or something? I guess it's to make up for the lack of tourists they got in the past millennium. It sucks, but at least they had a cool gift shop though. I got myself the power of the gods. With it, I can create whole new worlds, alter reality. Get a tube of toothpaste that's been recommended by 10 out of 10 doctors. Ah! Oh, I forgot. It explodes when it's being in contact with negative energy for too long. And as we all know, I got plenty of that. To me, the absolute worst part about water bottles is that they're made of plastic, and the biggest problem with plastic is that they never go away. They just keep breaking down and down until they're the size of my will to live. I'm just surprised I have one to begin with. Now obviously the most logical thing to do here is to collect and recycle water bottles. Only problem, recycling in America sucks! What people constantly get wrong about the recycling industry is that it's not a charity drive, it's a form of business. They have to find someone who's willing to purchase all of this recyclable junk. Historically, they were able to sell most of their recyclable goods to China, but at some point, China was like, no, we don't want your recyclable junk anymore. I don't know if you realize this, but we have a pollution problem here. We'd much rather focus on taking care of our own trash than having to deal with yours. And you know what? You can't really argue with that. Our country recycling their own garbage? Huh, what a novel concept. So that's the current problem with recycling in America. It just isn't as profitable as it used to be. Most of it is just sitting around piling up, or worse, they're just treated as trash. This whole world is one giant dumpster, and where are the flies? So that's it for now. All in all, I just find it really bizarre how there's a boatload of brands for what is essentially the same substance. Sure, they may say some fancy nonsense such as pure water that's been filtered through the moon or something like that. Listen, it doesn't matter what you say about your product. You can say whatever you want, but in the end, it's still just water. I don't understand why it's absolutely necessary to remind people that it's all natural. Like, isn't it supposed to be? But what's worse is how you have products such as Aquafina and Dasani that claim to be purified water, when in reality, they're just filtered tap water. It really infuriates me how these two are the best-selling brands of bottled water in the US, when they're not what they claim to be. It's all lies. You've been drinking nothing but lies. Yeah, I know, this was a really weird video to make, but I just thought of expressing my thoughts on it regardless. Like, I just don't understand the appeal of bottled water. Like, you might as well just bottle your own tap water and drink from that instead. Why not? That's what most of these brands are doing anyway. It also bothers me how plastic is harming the environment, and these guys aren't helping it one bit. If plastic is seen as practically worthless to the recycling industry, then why do we keep using it? What a waste of a material. Man, all this talking about water has sure made me thirsty. I'm gonna go ahead and take a drink out of this bottle I found while roaming around the desert aimlessly, hugging every cactus I see.
Who dares awaken me in this hour?
What the? Am I hearing voices again? Is that you, Grandpa?
No, you idiot. Down here.
What the? Is it the bottle that's talking to me right now?
Yeah, you nitwit. What? Am I the strangest thing you've seen in your life?
Well, I'm kind of debating on that, actually. That's the sad part.
Never mind that. What's the big idea, eh?
A big idea on what, eh?
Recklessly breaking off my seal like the deranged bum you are. I hid myself to get away from savages such as yourself. You're the first human I've seen in a very, very long time. And I gotta say, judging by your looks, I had no idea your kind would get uglier over time.
Look, pal, I just made a huge rant. I'm very thirsty, so I gotta take a swig out of you.
Wait! What are you doing? Wait, no! No! I've been violated.
Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, and make sure you stay hydrated, and thank you very much for watching this episode, and grab a ticket and join me next time. Admission is free, and I can't do this anymore. This is so, just have a nice day. Let's go with that.
Nothing about you makes any sense.
I know, and I try to accept that fact every single day.
Tough.
Very.